Dobro jutro ljudi, or good morning people. Today I'm going to show you a bit about my morning routine here in Croatia during winter time. So it's currently February, it's 10 degrees outside, I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, so it's 10 degrees outside and it's about 7:30. So I've just dropped the kids at nursery. Times vary, but today I'm going to the gym. So I usually do it a bit earlier than this. I like to get in the gym about 7 o'clock. So what we're going to do is we're going to drive to the gym now. Yeah, and unfortunately it's cloudy and rainy outside, and it hasn't rained in about 2 or 3 weeks. So we've just picked that perfect day where it's raining, which puts a little bit of a spanner in my works, but I'm going to continue making this video anyway. Right, the reason why I didn't show you straight coming out of bed is because who wants to see that? You know, some of these people that do these morning routines, show you them getting out of bed, getting changed and all that kind of thing, brushing their teeth. But I thought I'd start it over here. I've been averaging probably about 5 hours sleep, or maybe sometimes less a night, which isn't ideal. I like to optimize mine with at least 7 to 8 hours every night, but obviously with a 1-year-old child it's very unpredictable, and at the minute we're trying to wean her off slowly off formula milk bottles. So yeah, she normally wakes up around 12 o'clock in the night for the bottle feed, and then she usually wakes up around sort of 4 or 5 a.m. So it's usually 2 times a night, but it can be multiple times as well where she starts just crying in the middle of the night. You've got to put the dummy back in her mouth, and yeah, then she's quiet. So it's been a bit of a challenge, but with everything you kind of get used to lack of sleep and all that kind of stuff, which for me to start with was very difficult to handle because I'm quite a regimented person, and when I say I want 7 or 8 hours sleep, I want 7 or 8 hours sleep, otherwise I'm going to be the worst person in the world. But you know, I've kind of adapted to that now and got used to it, as you do. At the minute it seems like there is so much investment coming into this country, like so much. I am seeing buildings flying up everywhere. And that can only tell you one thing, right? That can only tell you that things are improving around here. Things are getting better. The whole of Zadar is literally getting dug up to be put in with new sewer lines and new mains water lines. So that's all getting renewed, which is obviously causing a big upheaval right now. And people are getting a bit annoyed, but it's benefiting the long term, right? So yeah, I mean, if work is even getting done here in Benkovac, I've seen a few houses pop up and stuff like that. It seems like these small little towns potentially start to sort of wake up and get a bit rebuilt, because you can still see remnants from the war still 30 years ago. Still like some buildings that are kind of left with bullet holes, and it's like, Jesus, why hasn't anyone just replastered that by now? It's been 30 years, you know what I mean? So I have now rocked up at the gym. Usually I'm going to the gym quite early because I like to get it out of the way and get, you know, start with my day and stuff like that. So I'm usually like heading here at like 7 o'clock, and what I'm realizing when I go to the gym is that it's actually empty. And thank God for this gym, because it's 24/7. So if you want to like rock up 3 a.m. in the morning, you can, which is pretty awesome. So there we go. Yeah, so here we go. Empty gym for me. So let me give you a little bit of a tour of my gym. So right here we've got the squat machines, guided ones. We've got some various bars here. We've got a bench press over here, various racks and other machines here. So down over into this room over here is, you see you've got various machines also in here, along with cardio machines over here. So that's cool. to then further down the line. Okay, so over in this room we have a cable machine here. Some other, these are for the abs over here, and then just sort of like a stretching yoga station, which actually smells a bit dodgy. So this is my gym, and actually I'm quite impressed. For Benkovac, it's not a bad place. It's not a bad place at all. So, right, first of all I'm going to start with some stretching, and then we'll get into some workout. You know what else is kind of annoying is that, like, I'm now 32, and one of the things that demotivates me right now is that my shoulder hurts still. Now, I damaged it in CrossFit about 3 years ago from doing, I don't know, too many crazy movements, under fatigue, and the same goes with my knee, tendonitis in one of my knees. So when you've got injuries, you're like, oh man, I try and do a press up or something and it hurts. I'm doing this rotation movement just to warm up and my shoulder is hurting right now. So it's it's demotivating. I know it probably needs a bit of rehab to try and fix it. I don't know if it can, be fixed potentially without surgery, because I mean, if it's been 3 years, I would have just thought it would have just healed naturally, but fact of the matter is, it hasn't, so, I'm just going to have to deal with that and try and push forward and do what I can instead of pushing myself to the absolute brink of destruction like I usually do, so I've just got to be humble. Okay, so my gym workout is now done. It's about 8:30. So right now I'm going to go grab some breakfast, and one of my favourite parts of the day, grabbing a coffee. Now, whether I can have it outside, probably not, because it's raining, but I will see if the seats are dry, because I like this particular place. I've tried a cappuccino in pretty much every place in Benkovac, and I know that this specific place called Café is the place to be for a coffee in the morning. Now, because Benkovac has a lot of remnants from Yugoslavia, people's mindsets are still kind of placed in that era, and there isn't a single coffee bar that doesn't allow indoor smoking. So if you go to Zadar, you'll find plenty that you can sort of be inside and have a coffee without smoking. But here, unfortunately, I don't have that privilege, so I am therefore forced to sit outside, which isn't a bad thing. In many cases, I would prefer to sit outside anyway, so that doesn't bother me whatsoever. There is one place actually, which is the gas station, which I keep saying that like in an American term, petrol station in English, where you can have coffee inside. So here we are, venturing to the centre of Benkovac here right now. This is where most of the stuff is happening. So you have this kind of like parking lot next to me, where you find a few people that are setting up with local fruits and vegetables. Over here, like over there. That's my gal Dragica, always bringing out the fruit, veg and fruit. That's where we go to pick some up. So you can see there is a selection of stuff over there. You've got the local post office here, stuff like the local bus station, which is still looking very communisty. You can see, very Yugoslavian. For breakfast, usually I go to the bakery. Now, there's a few go-to things that I would usually get. I mean, there's not that much to choose from, but normally I would go for a burek, which ends up, I mean, I love it. Don't get me wrong, I love burek, but it is so greasy that, you should limit yourself to maybe once a week on that one. There was a time that I was having it every day of the week, and I may have just put on some unnecessary pounds. But here we go, the good old pekara. Here we are. Dobra, masz jeden tortilla z filetem. Yeah, može. Hvala. These are the ones. So you've got selection here. Hvala puno.
Hvala tebi, pozdrav.
Pozdrav, ciao. Here we are. My lovely chicken wrap. So we've got a fresh tortilla, literally baked here on the day. We have nice tomato sauce inside. We've got lettuce, we've got chicken, we've got sweet corn, we've got mayonnaise. And yeah, that's about it. But oh my god, like, oh, it's good. It's good. You've got my favorite pechenera down there, which basically sells kind of like your roasted meats. So you like spit roast lamb and spit roast pig. So normally what I do is I get this wrap and I head off over here. I'm getting reversed into right now. Yeah, so I normally grab my wrap and head over here, which is the coffee bar that I usually go to. Now let's see if it's available. So you've got some like Croatian agencies here, so like the government buildings and stuff, which are in this building here, which perhaps are getting moved to that new building. I haven't actually checked out what that's going to be, but I've heard it's maybe a library or like some kind of government building. So I mean, this is, if you need to get anything sorted, it's usually these ones, or the notorious police station, which I've been many times for getting stuff sorted, and so on and so forth. Fresh, so good. Right, so we're now heading up to my go-to coffee bar. This is the one. Hold on. So yeah, as you can see, in the summertime, it's quite popping here. You know, everyone's sitting out here in the morning. At the moment, no one is, but everyone's sitting inside there, and that is the coffee bar. Let's have a look if the seats are dry. They are indeed, so we can take a sip. So that's it, just pop my head in. The funny thing is that over here in Croatia, especially in the older villages, because everyone knows who everyone is, you just get weird looks all the time. So, I mean, don't think it's anything special if you walk into a cafe bar or you walk past a cafe bar and you get stared at completely. Basically, this woman was saying on YouTube that, you know, she was facing kind of racial discrimination in Croatia because everyone kept staring at her. But the actual fact of the matter is like, they stare at everyone. Like, if you're foreign, they stare at you. If you're dressed differently, they stare at you. You know, if they hear you speaking a different language, they're going to stare at you. And if you come to a village where everyone knows who everyone is and you just somehow pop up, like, they're going to stare at you. So it's just normal, right? I mean, if you are a different race, they may look at you more because obviously if you're surrounded around the same kind of people and all of a sudden there's a, you know, a black person or, you know, that kind of thing that pops up, then they're going to divert their attention to that because it's not something they see on a daily basis. So don't think it's in a racist way, because people don't think necessarily racially here. Maybe some do, you know, but they actually just like, some, you know, a lot of them kind of either admire it or they kind of like think it's unique and cool, and they see it in a totally different way. So what I would say is, if you're feeling the same way where you kind of think that you're racially getting discriminated just because you're in Croatia and you're getting looked at all the time, just know that it's even happening to me, you know, and that should make you feel better, because it happens to my wife all the time, it happens to me all the time, it happens to everyone, you know. Even the locals get stared at, for God's sake. So yeah, for this wrap of the day, as they call it, is €3 for this, which is pretty good value, I would say. Absolute full of chicken, all fresh. If it was something similar in UK, you'd probably pay £6, I imagine. And it would be nowhere near as fresh as this, or tasty as this, so it's well worth it. Hvala.
Ja ti samo zamolila da nas snimaš u kafiću. Ljudi
Okay.
to.
A nisam snimao u kafiću, ali da. So here we go, we've got the receipt for the bill, which is €1.70. And they said, please don't film inside the cafe. I wasn't actually filming inside the cafe, I was filming myself, and I was filming the outside, but I wasn't filming inside. And okay, so like, why enjoy just having this coffee outside? I know this could happen in anywhere in the world, but for some reason when you do it here in Croatia, it feels better than it does anywhere else. Even though right now I am not by the sea, I haven't exactly got a good view around me, but it's my moment, my time of the day to just reflect on things. I'm by myself, I drink a cup of coffee and just think about the day ahead, think about some kind of things I want to do, maybe business wise or whatever, or with family. And it's just a little bit of a deep reflection time. It's kind of like my meditating time, I would say, you know, just to have this coffee in the morning. And not to mention, I really do enjoy coffee as well. Right, I've finished my coffee. I will just show you the high street before I head off home. Today is going to be about content creation. So today I am going to be doing bulk videos for my YouTube channel. So yeah, here we are towards the center. So let me just show you. So it is kind of just like one street. I'll turn the camera around. So you kind of got like one street that goes all the way across here, and you got church here, Catholic church here, and yeah, I mean it doesn't look so bad, but it's always empty. It's pretty much always empty. I've never seen this like full of people. No time of the day. I don't think anyone really comes down here, which you'll see, like there is a lot of kind of shops that aren't open. You know, I mean, some of it's looking kind of grim. Still houses sort of destroyed from the war. I mean, during summer it is a lot more busy because everyone's sitting outside, but it's never full from what I can see. Got this bit of graffiti here. Happy town. But there ain't a hell of a lot going on here. Definitely nothing for the youths, really, unfortunately. So here's another part of Benkovac here. You've got the Consum here. Another Pekarnica over there. This is kind of like, I don't know. Sometimes there's events and it kind of is around this area here. But again, I don't really see anyone really hanging around here too much. Got some kind of well here. And yeah, just got various coffee bars. You've got getting some materials and stuff like that. This is what I'm talking about, you know, here. I think up there, that is still bullet holes. I could be wrong, but it looks like it. And why someone hasn't just gotten a ladder and just sorted that out, I have no clue, but there you go. I mean, little things like that make a big difference. So yeah, I mean, that's about it around Benkovac, so I will catch you in a bit at home.